Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, I wanted to invite you all to do some harvesting with me this evening. We're going to be setting up the flower stand like always, and I just thought I'd bring you along for the journey because isn't it so wonderful to have a break from the heat this time of year? I feel like I've been sweating like a crazy person the last month, but it's only about 85, 90 degrees now, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. So I've already picked my sunflowers earlier on this week when they were just starting to crack open. I've transferred them from my cooler, which is just an old refrigerator in my garage, to my addition so they can open up overnight. So what we need to pick this evening is some zinnias, some dahlias, some celosia, some gomphrena, some foliage, and I think we should be good because we're going to be relying pretty heavily on those sunflowers at the stand this week. So let's take a look because I think things have changed a lot since the last you've been here. So we'll go ahead and pick this queen lime with red zinnia. Isn't that just beautiful? I grew queen lime with red last year over in the driveway garden, and I think it was just too wet over there for zinnias. So I learned that lesson the hard way and put them over here in the raised bed this year, and they're doing so much better. I have one Sundance Kid sunflower blooming. Now that I see it, I don't think I'll grow it again because I don't really like how all these heads are coming off from the very top. I'll have to see how the other ones bloom. One that I do like that's blooming right now is this one called Double Quick over here. That's really a gorgeous explosion of a sunflower and really fun and artsy. So these ones are all about to open up, and I'll probably be picking these tomorrow evening and sticking them in the cooler for next weekend. I saw a great question about cool flowers. How long can you expect the cool flowers to be in bloom? So I wanted to show you that my scabiosa is still in bloom here, which was planted as a cool flower in very early spring. The straw flower is also still blooming, which was planted out 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. And I do have some really beautiful dahlias blooming back here now, but the ones we're going to pick for these bouquets are over in the driveway garden. I'm going to rely on Cornell to get me through at the flower stand today, but let me show you Myrtle's Folly because it's really, really beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? This one's called Labyrinth, and I just love all the beautiful peaches and pinks on this one. If you remember last year, I grew Diva and really loved it, so I stored those tubers over the winter, and here it is blooming again now. We'll go ahead and pick lots of this gomphrena here. This is the Raspberry Cream Gomphrena, really beautiful. I'm also going to be using some native plants in this pick. We're going to be picking this flower here called Ironweed, which is a really, really wonderful cut flower, and I have a lot of it back in the $5 garden. And then I can take us over to the driveway garden where I'm kind of prepping for a renovation over there, so things look a little bit rough, but hopefully in the future we'll have a better driveway garden at the end of the day. It just looks a little bit like a hot mess at the moment. But check out this cup and saucer vine before we move on. Isn't that amazing? Now, I actually have not seen the hummingbird over here yet. It seems like what the hummingbird is liking this year is all the seed dahlias, which is just awesome. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell, but what I started to do is move a lot of the shrubs that are going to get taller all the way to the back, kind of bordering those pussy willows and rose of Sharons that I have. And so eventually we'll have kind of this repetition of panicle hydrangeas, 9 barks, and then I also put some dogwoods and viburnums in the back. I'm going to do just kind of a sheet mulching around all these shrubs. Guys, it looks so bad over here right now. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm widening this path right here. We're gonna lay down brand new cardboard to suppress the weeds, then mulch, and then you see I have just some of the pallet walkway here now, but eventually we'll have this really tall shrub border back here. We'll have a much wider path to walk through as we harvest, and then I think I'm going to put the new bench right there, but we'll see how things shape up. But what we need from the driveway garden this evening is this Ruby Parfait celosia, and I think that'll look really beautiful with the Queen Lime zinnias and the Pro Cuts. So with all that being said, let's get some buckets and my snips, say hello to the monarch butterfly, and get cutting. I'm doing a really nice deep cut on these zinnias, even though they're only going to be used for mason jars. I'm still cutting that deep into the plant, and then I'm sacrificing all of these side branches so that the plant will give me much longer stems when I come back to cut it again. And these are all passing the wiggle test too. So when I wiggle the stem, the head moves with the stem instead of independent from the flower stem. These are actually all ready. I don't have any that are wiggling all around the top, but if they were wiggling all around the top, I would give them a little bit more time to mature. Aren't those gorgeous? Have you guys grown this color? Do you love them? Has anyone grown the new Queen Lime? I think it's Queen Lime Peach or Queen Lime Orange. But anyway, I love the Queen Lime Red, just stunning. So here we have that raspberry cream gomphrena. I am definitely going to grow this again next year. And it was kind of a perfect accident that I had alyssum here to start the season, and then I plunked in my gomphrena transplants. And what happened is, just as the alyssum was kind of starting to fade from the heat, the gomphrena kind of took over. It ended up swamping the alyssum, but I think it worked out anyway since the alyssum was kind of going out from how hot things were getting. So I think this is going to be a really beautiful flower stand. I can't wait to arrange these tomorrow. Ironweed is also a really great replacement for ageratum or ageratum, however you like to say that. And it also dries beautifully as well. The foliage is not so nice, but the flowers are spectacular. It doesn't get much better than this, does it, friends? That is gorgeous. Oh, look at that. I love it. I give it a big hug after this. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the top of this rue, but being very careful because I do see some caterpillars that I want to stick around on some of these. So I'll just pick maybe 5 stems and leave the rest for my caterpillar friends. Oh, I picked a caterpillar friend. Let me just put him back here. There you go, buddy. Oh, there's tons of them. Okay. Note to self, if you want swallowtail butterflies in your garden, of course, you know, people always say to plant parsley, but this rue is just covered with them. Well, friends, I think we have all the filler flower that we need for tomorrow's flower stand. I'm gonna go ahead and strip all the leaves over back by my compost pile, pick one big bucket of foliage, and I'll let these guys condition overnight, and then I'll see you bright and early tomorrow to set up the flower stand. Well, friends, it's about 2:30 p.m. the following day. We ended up selling 4 bouquets, and there's still one that I put back out at the stand this morning to see if that one will sell. But what I want to do now is to put my amaryllis bulbs into dormancy. It's the end of August. Today is August 23rd, and I want to put my amaryllis bulbs into dormancy in my basement. That's a dark place, about 50 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 to 3 months, so that they can go into dormancy and then put on another flowering bloom stalk for me come early to mid-November when I bring them out of dormancy. So here's the majority of my amaryllis bulbs, and I'm sorry that it's so loud up here, but there's the driveway garden there, and you can see the amaryllis are here under my covered porch. But they still get full sun because the sun really streams in and hits these amaryllis all day long. But why I put them under the covered porch is because I dealt with a lot of moisture issues on my amaryllis in previous years, and I'm hoping by putting most of them under the covered porch that that'll solve the problem that I was having, which was basically I was getting red splotch from a lot of that moisture just being present in the soil all the time and splashing up onto the leaves. Okay, friends, I have all our amaryllis down here in the basement. So this is an unheated, uncooled basement, so it stays between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very humid down here, so you have to run a dehumidifier all the time. I'm probably dumping that dehumidifier 2 to 3 times a day in the summer. But these amaryllis are just going to sit down here in my basement in the dark for the next 2 to 3 months. What's going to happen is I'm not going to water them at all. Their foliage is going to die back naturally. And then right about the beginning of November into the middle of November, I'm going to bring them out of dormancy up into the main portion of my house. I'm going to repot them, give them water, and give them a nice warm place, and then they'll regrow and rebloom for us this Christmas. So friends, I'll definitely take you along for the journey when we go ahead and repot those amaryllis come Christmas time. I also ordered way too many new amaryllis bulbs. I told you once, and I probably need to say it again, I really have a problem when it comes to buying amaryllis. It's my one weakness. You know, I don't really buy a lot of new things. I don't buy new clothes or worry about my hair or makeup or anything like that too much. But when it comes to amaryllis, I might as well just throw my checkbook at the amaryllis companies because I love them so much. It's just something so exciting about having these ginormous, beautiful blooms in the dead of winter. If you've never grown amaryllis before, definitely just invest in maybe one bulb, give it a try. I'm sure you'll be hooked just like me. Well, friends, I want to thank you so much for watching this video and hanging out with me over the last few days. And I want to wish you a great day in your gardens. I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.